Good morning, Cecilia.
Good morning.
My question will be very simple. What is your story? How it began?
Yes, well, thank you very much for the organizers for inviting me here. I think that the story that I came here to tell, given that this is the positive economy, is a positive story of what's been happening in Brazil in terms of food.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's quite a positive story that we can tell from Brazil in terms of the initiatives and policies that have been developed in the past 20 years to reduce hunger and food insecurity in the country. So just this past week, we learned that Brazil, for the first time, has been taken out of the map of hunger.
Yes, it's a big event.
This is huge, and certainly the accomplishments that in that area were because of the policies, both at local level. I think that it started in a number of cities, in particular the city that I study, which is Belo Horizonte. But then it was escalated to the national level with a number of different policies.
How it works concretely?
So there are a number of initiatives, a number of programs, and some of the people that are here may have heard of the Zero Hunger strategy in Brazil, which was launched in 2003. The Zero Hunger strategy was a set of programs that proposed to reduce hunger and food insecurity in Brazil. So the Zero Hunger was that goal. They go from huge programs. For example, we have a program, is the largest cash transfer in the world. Low-income families receive cash payment, and that has been a huge element in reducing extreme poverty in the country. But there's also very specific policies, for example, the school meals program, and then a number of programs to support family farming, and programs that support family farming in delivering food to the schools, so that there is also this synchronicity of the programs. So that benefits small farmers, but also benefits the school kids that receive fresh food, benefits local economies because it supports the local agriculture. There are programs that are, for example, what we call the popular restaurants. Those are cafeteria-style restaurants that are subsidized by local governments, so people can have a very healthy meal for $50. So those are very localized initiatives. There are also food banks that have been also promoted throughout the country. So a number of those have altogether kind of provided the conditions for reducing hunger and food insecurity.
What was the role of women in this program? They were very involved inside?
Yeah, as anybody working in this area know, you know, women and food, they are very connected.
Yes, yes.
And this is where we have participation of women, not only as activists and people working in this area. Most of the nutritionists in the country, most of the teachers in the country are women, but also in terms of the beneficiaries. So for example, in the cash transfer program, the money is given to the women, the
Yes.
women of the families, and they are the ones making the decision on how this money is spent. And studies have shown that, indeed, most of that money goes for food and the basic needs for the children in the household. There are also some specific programs, for example, in terms of the support for family farming. there is a part of that program that is supporting women farms that are run by women. So there is this focus on women in this area, both as beneficiaries but also as actors in a number of them.
What were the most important difficulty that you had during the program, and so what?
Well,
it was politician, it was economy, it was
also,
cash flow.
Yeah, there are always problems, and of course, when we want to say, when we want to tell the positive story of Brazil, it's not to deny the many problems that the country still has. So, for example, we worked in some local municipalities, local areas, developing programs for the schools, nutrition educational programs, school meals programs, very participatory. And in some of those municipalities, once the government changes, if it changes to another party, you may have that this new party may not want to support programs that the previous party have introduced. So there are those problems. But I would say that we need to think how we make those initiatives and those programs sustainable. And sustainable, I'm not just saying in terms of environmental sustainability, but also financial sustainability and political sustainability. And the way to do that is to make sure that we have the support of the population, of civil society, so that, you know, when governments change, they can't go back. Yes. They know that this is a popular program. This is a program that the population supports. So I would say that a number of the programs that we have had in Brazil in the past 20 years, they have lasted those 20 years, and they are continuing because of that support. So it's not something that is dependent on the government of the day. I would, that's an example of that as well, is the right to food, which was included in the Brazilian Constitution in 2010. Yes. What that means is that it's not up to the government of the day to consider the right to food for the Brazilian people. It is very important. It is in the Constitution. So I think those are the important elements for sustainability beyond any individual government.
I think to work with the population, to involve the population in the programs, it's always very important, and working with women too, because they're thinking to the future.
Yes.
If we don't have a lot of time always, still, if you have you do a lot of, you make a big trip to come here, what would you like to say and to transmit to the young generation who are in our audience? What is a positive idea do you have? Do you think we can change really the world?
Well, definitely. And I think they are having a number of very positive examples here, examples from industry, from civil society organizations, from grassroots organizations. And I think what I bring to you is a positive example of policy. And I think people have been very skeptical about policy because we are skeptical about politicians, but we shouldn't give up on policy. So for young people out there, take this to your heart. Everything positive demands everybody in society, demands civil society, demands action from industry, but it also must include policy. And it's a example, is a positive example, and a positive economy requires a positive policy.
So thank you so much, Cecilia.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Never give up.